Namaste, great morning. Hello, everyone. Well, I decided to do a reading this morning and do one with more depth to it. So, this is for those that are on a spiritual path and want something more in depth. This is going to be one that's just, it's okay. It'll be a tough one, I think, for a lot of people to hear. So what we have is that it's going to be on surrender, okay, about conditionings, things that people get themselves bound up with, about the energy potential that you have available, and where are you putting your energy? What is it you are really seeking? So what we have here is the lesser angels of water. And this really comes down to the crux of the spiritual journey. If one is going towards realization or one is staying surface into the things of the world. So let's look and see what this has to do. And you'll see that the lesser angels and how one stays bound in conditionings and how surrender, all of these things fit together. Okay, so let me hold this up so you can see it. The lesser angels of water. Okay. The nature, the card shows a pair of naked angels with large wings holding hands over a smooth lake. The nature of these angels is to polarize forces and energies into opposing directions. The sexual desire of the two angels for each other is exactly opposite to their spiritual strength. Okay, let me say that again. Okay, the sexual desire of the two angels for each other is exactly opposite to their inner spiritual strength. The card illustrates the relationship that exists between the inner desire for individuality and independence and the outer desire for union and sharing with another person. Okay, so again, it's that this is why all the realized beings and things gave up this union, because this sexual desire, and this is what I keep teaching, that if you're focused on the body and you're having sexual relations, your focus is externalized. Okay, and that's where you're putting your energy, and this causes these conditionings, these bindings. In order to be free of that, one has to surrender, put your energy in surrender, and has to be willing to give up a time of this type of externalized relationship. Okay, so what we have on one side is the eye of fire, okay, which is really, again, putting all that energy, rushing again with your rushing along and putting this energy out there into a sense of judgment, okay, putting that energy out there, okay, eye of fire, and things of the world, okay, things of the world. And what we have on the other side is interesting, which is stream of love. Okay, now which type of love is it you want? Is it that love of spirituality, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or the threefold Kundalini that begins, or is it the things of the flesh, okay, which brings heartache, and death, okay? So again, if you're towards the things of the flesh, they come and go. Brings heartache, brings death. These things will keep cycling and cycling, cycling. Or do you want to go beyond death and beyond this heartache and enter the things of the spirit? Okay. So you could read that in, again, opposite ways. The inner, the outer. What is one transitioning toward? What is one holding to? What is one going forward with? What's underneath of it is that wanting to, that light, okay? Is it the light of being a star, a person, persona, okay? For chasing the, again, the ego things, putting your power towards that, putting all the energy towards that, weaving that, or does one to surrender this to get to the light beyond light? Does one want to go towards that light beyond lights, which is liberation? Okay. What's above it? Okay. Is many tongues. Okay. This is just chasing so many ideations, so many dramas. You know, you just have so much intellectual things that you gravitate to, and that one needs to find balance, because you get so much you don't know which way you're going. You don't know which direction to turn. You know, you're in the midst of confusion because you want to chase everything. You think, you know, that more is better, more is better, more is better. Many tongues of the, you know, and these snakes can bite and they cause conditionings, okay? So, what is it you want to build your throne on? Where is it one wants to go? Again, does one want to have so much intellectual things? Or does one want to choose the other directions? Because there are two choices here. Or does one want to choose to let go of those things to go forward to realization? Okay. So again, there are two divergent paths to go on. Okay. But everyone, anyway, that is in the midst of life journey, all of these things are rushing to judgment, rushing to the things of the flesh are going to end. They cycle, they cycle, they cycle, they cycle. Okay. So let's see if we have any other things going forward. Okay. But yeah, if one is wanting to go towards realization, it is an internal journey. You can't be internally focused and externally focused at the same time. It's two divergent paths. Not to say anything is wrong with being in the world and to enjoy those, but understand that those things are constantly cycling, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And eventually, if one wants to get to realization, they have to break that cycle for a time. And there are some things that are not beneficial when one is going towards or wants to go towards that liberation and freedom. Okay. So again, chariot, you have to decide what vehicle you're going to get into, so where it's going to take you. There are two divergent paths. Which path are you going to go? We have one path, we have the second path, okay? Which is the path and light you want to follow? Again, this is where you make your choice, your path, your life's journey. What is it you want to seek? Where is it you want to go? Okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, this is something one should sit down and contemplate. Do they want the things of the world, or do they want to go beyond that? Okay, again, it takes a, yeah, whew, guys, stern. Okay, so one is the way of money, and the other is this way of the sword or truth or uh, wisdom. Okay, tough journey. It's not an easy guy. It's a tough journey. It's a hard journey to make, but people have to make their choice. And then once you start, don't look back. You know, if you choose the path to realization, then once you go, you don't look back. You have to continue to go forward. Okay. If you're going to continue to look back and see what you've lost in that, then you know, you're not fit for the path. Okay. You have to understand it's going to take a battle. It's not easy. People think, oh, if I choose the path of light and God, and I want to go forward, then God's going to magically open all these doors. I'm going to be on the yellow brick road to Oz. Well, no, it's not like that. It's a tough journey that one makes. Okay, understand there are battles. Okay, one has to face the sorrows and the dramas, all of these things. If one chooses that path to go forward to realization, one is confronted with that. You're confronted with death. You go through the death before death, and you're confronted with all the illusions that one has constructed around themselves that keep them bound in the, where did he go? The conditionings, okay? Within conditionings, okay? The illusions of truth which keep conditionings in place, okay? Okay. One has to be willing to give up these standing in society and the ego drama, okay? Have to be willing to give up the ego drama. And again, it takes work. It takes work. It takes dedication to move that path forward. Okay. Okay. So anyway, we could keep going with this for quite some time. But in any case, there are always two divergent ways to go. The ways of the flesh and the ways of, prosperity in the world dynamic, or to let go of those for a time to do the internal search. And the internal search is done in the midst of daily life. It's not that one has to leave and go into a monastery or a place like that to do that. Okay? It can be done in the midst of where you're at, but it takes the mystic's journey. It takes that dedication, and it takes that surrender in order to walk that journey of light. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Namaste. Have a great day, everyone.